Hello everyone, welcome to our Activity 1 of LMCP 1632. Today we are going to talk about something about housing, which includes 4 parts: factors influencing housing choices, problems and challenges, solution proposals based on SDG, and summary of solutions. Now let's enjoy our video.
Let's begin. When you appreciate the benefits of home ownership, you will no longer see obligations such as repaying your loan or maintaining your home as a burden, but as a route to investing in your and your family's future. There are many benefits to home ownership. 1. In the medium to long term, costs related to home ownership will be lower than that of a rental unit. 2. Your home's value will in most instances grow over time. And 3, it provides independence and comfort for you and your family. Let's start by comparing the monthly payments related to 2 identical homes, both in the same area. One, a rental property, and the other, a home purchased with a loan. You would most likely be aware that if you rent a property, the monthly rental will, as shown by the red line on the graph, increase every year. The increases will often be in line with inflation for that period. The home loan installment, as illustrated with the blue line, will in the beginning be more than the rental payment and will every now and then increase or decrease as the interest rates go up and down. You will, however, notice that in the medium to long term, you will generally be paying far less per month should you purchase a home and not rent. Another key financial benefit of owning your own home is that property prices have on average shown an increase in the medium to long term, and so the selling price of your home will generally increase. This example below shows a typical increase in a home's market value over time. The loan balance will, on the other hand, decrease every year as regular payments are made until it reaches 0 at the end of the loan term. The difference between the market value and the outstanding loan balance is called home equity value. Should a homeowner at any time decide to sell his or her home, they will be entitled to keep the difference between the market value and the outstanding loan balance. Please note, however, you will normally have to pay sales commission from this amount. Even if you are not planning to sell, lenders will more easily grant you a loan if you have home equity value. This could mean that you can take out an additional loan to fund your children's education or fund other expenditure such as startup costs for a small business. Now, what about other benefits? Owning your own home will give you the freedom to decorate and repaint your home in a style that suits you. Every rand that you spent on improvements will benefit you as it improves the value of your investment. Perhaps you are ready to settle down in your community and want the feeling of permanence and involvement that comes with owning your own home. A home of your own also provides a place of comfort for you and your family and gives you the flexibility to adapt your living space to your individual tastes and needs. Now that you understand the significant benefits of home ownership, you will see that getting financially fit is not a burden, but rather the first step to your financial well-being and peace of mind.
About the Sustainable Development Goals. We're on the 11th one now. Sustainable cities and communities. Let's jump right in. As you might already know, sustainability means meeting people's needs today in a way that allows people in the future to also meet their needs. It means that we need to grow the economy without hurting the environment. So what does sustainable cities and communities mean? It means cities and communities that give their people a good quality of life, but do not put the environment at risk. Sustainable cities protect the rights of their people, such as the right to housing, access to green spaces, quality public transportation, and protecting cultural heritage, to name a few. Our world is becoming more and more urbanized. Today, more than half of the population lives in cities, and 70% of the planet's harmful carbon emissions come from cities. For this reason, the United Nations believes it is a key sustainable development objective for communities and cities to be more respectful of the environment. It's very important to take care of the planet we live on. Rapid urbanization causes millions of people to live in neighborhoods with weak infrastructure and inadequate services. This increases air pollution and leads to uncontrolled urban growth. Although cities occupy only 3% of the Earth, they represent between 60 and 80% of energy consumption. That's a lot, don't you think? Countries need to provide access to adequate, safe housing with basic services for all people. Housing needs to be in places with good transportation systems and must adapt to the needs of the most vulnerable people. It is also important to care for the planet's cultural and natural heritage. Respect for monuments, as well as nature, is essential for building sustainable communities. Making cities and communities sustainable is the key to reducing their environmental impact. It requires an effort from all government administrations and from all of us as a global community.
One of the most common affordable housing programs is the Housing Choice Voucher, better known as Section 8 housing. Section 8 is a federal program aimed at helping low-income families, the elderly, and people with disabilities afford decent, safe, and sanitary housing. Section 8 is run by your local housing authority, who establishes the payment standard based on the fair market rent. This payment standard is essentially the average cost of rent in your area. There can be waitlists to participate in the voucher program. Market rents may be higher than some low-income families can afford. This is where Section 8 comes in, to help people by establishing what they can actually afford, about 30% of take-home pay, comparing that with the area payment standard, and making up the difference with a voucher. For example, if the payment standard for a two-bedroom apartment is $920 a month, and 30% of your monthly income is $600, the Housing Choice Voucher would pay the difference of $320 a month. There are also benefits to landlords who accept Section 8 vouchers, such as consistent and timely rent payments, and lower turnover rate among Section 8 participants. Housing for Hoosiers is a service of South Central Indiana Housing Opportunities. SIHO is dedicated to expanding housing options for low and moderate income households in South Central Indiana.
What are the challenges to the right to housing? Imagine waking up each day without the certainty of a roof over your head. The right to housing is a fundamental human right, yet many individuals and families face numerous obstacles in securing this basic need. One major challenge is the lack of affordable housing. In many urban areas, housing prices have skyrocketed, making it difficult for low-income individuals to find suitable accommodations. This financial strain often leads to overcrowding or homelessness, as people are forced to choose between paying rent and meeting other essential needs. Another significant issue is discrimination. Certain groups, including racial minorities, individuals with disabilities, and members of the LGBTQ+ community, often face bias in the housing market. This can manifest in unfair rental practices, denial of housing applications, or even eviction based on discriminatory reasons. Such practices not only violate the right to housing but also perpetuate social inequalities. Additionally, inadequate legal protections can hinder individuals' ability to claim their right to housing. In some regions, laws may not sufficiently protect tenants from unjust evictions or unsafe living conditions. Without strong legal frameworks, many people may feel powerless to advocate for their rights. Furthermore, economic instability can exacerbate housing challenges. During times of recession or financial crisis, job loss can lead to an inability to pay rent, resulting in eviction. This cycle can be difficult to break, as individuals may struggle to find new employment while facing the stigma of homelessness. Lastly, government policies can either support or undermine the right to housing. In some cases, urban development projects prioritize profit over community needs, leading to displacement of long-term residents. Conversely, effective policies that promote affordable housing and tenant protections can help mitigate these challenges. Addressing the right to housing requires a multifaceted approach that considers economic, social, and legal factors. By understanding these challenges, communities can work towards creating a more equitable housing landscape for everyone.
Everyone deserves to live in a world where our cities and communities are designed to be inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. We all have a role to play in helping the UN achieve this goal by the year 2030. But the idea of a sustainable city isn't new. Ancient civilizations like the Greeks designed cities for the benefits of all citizens. They made it easy to travel by planning streets in straight lines. They kept everyone fed and watered by setting up markets and building aqueducts, and even pioneered public parks where citizens could relax in nature. Today, our definition of livability has evolved to reflect the needs of people living in a modern world. We want people to feel safe to travel through their communities, to have access to affordable housing, and connect with their neighbours in shared spaces and at public events, because communities thrive when people develop a sense of ownership and belonging. It's easy to feel isolated from a community. It happens in big cities when buildings are not designed to give disabled people access. It happens in small towns when reduced public transport links make it impossible for the elderly to participate in society. But lots of good things are being done to help people feel connected to their communities. The Kilis refugee camp in Turkey, for example, is a temporary community that was designed to last. Managed by the Turkish government, residents live in concrete shelters rather than makeshift tents, giving them a sense of stability. In Scotland, Rex Afsal set up a community fridge where people could access food donated by local businesses. And in New York, a disused railway bed was transformed into the High Line, an eye-catching public space where citizens can mingle or relax. Ideas like this can help create a safer, more inclusive future for everyone.
The world is becoming increasingly urban. We'll need to build a new city for 1 million people every week to keep up, or manage the growth of the cities we already have. The battle for sustainable development will be won or lost in our cities, working with the rural areas on which they depend for food and natural resources. Mayors and local governments are already taking action to win this battle. We provide basic services and work with slum dwellers and neighbourhoods to upgrade their living conditions. We improve air quality by investing in public transport and green mobility. We protect the environment through sustainable waste management. We tackle urban segregation by ensuring quality green and public spaces for all. We protect urban cultural heritage for future generations. We monitor and regulate land use to make cities more resilient to climate change and disasters. We involve our communities in planning for inclusive and sustainable urbanisation. Local and regional governments seek strong partnerships with national governments to ensure enabling legal frameworks and adequate resources, and play our full role in achieving Sustainable Development Goal 11, which is Sustainable Cities and Communities. The Sustainable Development Agenda depends on local governments.
In conclusion, home ownership is a basic human right and plays a vital role in ensuring family stability and community well-being. It is closely linked to SDG 11, which promotes sustainable and inclusive urban development. Housing choices are shaped by factors such as location, financial capacity, government support, and personal needs. However, issues like the shortage of affordable housing, property speculation, low construction quality, loan approval difficulties and lack of information continue to pose significant challenges. To address these problems, SDG-based solutions are essential. These include strengthening public policies, improving financial literacy, adopting innovative and sustainable construction technologies, and promoting inclusive community design. With coordinated efforts from all stakeholders, it is possible to build a more equitable and sustainable housing system for all. That's everything we want to share with you. Thank you for your listening and watching.